He wrote a book of poems called A Tale of Two Gardens, comparing India and Latin America as two different gardens. And that he says, a garden is not a place, it is a passage. To pass through is enough. To pass through is to remain. The second phase of the India-Latin America interaction was spiritual in the 1960s with Beatles, hippies, counterculture, Ravi Shankar music, Indian gurus. There was a lot of interest across Latin America about Indian meditation, yoga and gurus, which continues to this day. There are lots of Indian gurus who are popular, and there are thousands of followers of Sai Baba, Ravi Shankar, Maharishi, Rajneesh. The third phase of this interaction is just about less than a decade old. This third phase started with WWW and globalization. Today, across Latin America, there are 12,000 young Latin Americans who work with Indian IT outsourcing companies, including the son of Ambassador de la Torre. And they have a new business model of working in this globalized world. As you know, the Indian companies do 24/7 services. Now, what they do is, they do with these 12,000 Latin Americans, they do 12 hours of work in the same time zone as North America and 12 hours of work in India, 12 by 12. The new business model, win-win for both sides. And then there are Indian companies which have invested about $11 billion across Latin America, employing lots of Latin Americans. So this has brought about a new kind of interaction between Indian and Latin American cultures, including work culture. I told you, when two different cultures meet, it starts with cultural shock. Let me tell you how it happened in my own case. When I came to Latin America first time in 1996, I asked a Brazilian friend of mine, tell me, you have so much of resources, very vibrant population. Why do you get into all these crises, ups and downs? He said, it is because of the Latin American women and the men. He said, the women do not admit their age and the men do not act their age. Then he gave me a historic explanation. He said, in the beginning of the world, it was Moses. He put his hands up like this and said, God, you are everything. Then after some time, this King Solomon, he put his hands here. Man, use your head. You can change the world. Then came Jesus. He put his hands here. Heart. Love thy neighbor. Problems will be solved. Then came Karl Marx. He put his hands here. Stomach. If this is empty, there will be revolutions. And then came Sigmund Freud. So my Brazilian friend said, India is in the Marxian stage. and we are in the Freudian stage. The first time, the first weeks when I reached Brazil, there was this Brazilian friend of mine. He invited me for golf. I said, I'm delighted. What time? He said, 11 o'clock in the night. I said, what? Golf at 11 o'clock in the night? He said, oh, this is Latino golf. Then he explained, you know, in normal golf, you use Callaway clubs, tailor-made clubs, Wilson clubs. But in Latino golf, we use night clubs. That was my cultural shock. And on the other hand, the Indians also gave cultural shock to the Latin Americans. There was this guy from Malgudi who was invited to the house of Macondo. And Senor Macondo thinks that Indians are teetotalers, they don't drink. So he offers him, Mr. Malgudi, can I offer you some soft drinks? Mr. Malgudi says, no, 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 no. Indians always say 3 times no. And you have to keep insisting. And after some time, Mr. Macondo offers, Mr. Malgudi, can I offer you some beer? Malgudi says, no, no, no. And after some time, he asks, may I offer you some wine? No, 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 no. And then Mr. Macondo asks, can I offer you some whiskey soda? No soda, no soda, no soda. And people think in India people are religious, Hindus don't eat carne. So there's this Argentine friend invites Mr. Malgudi for asado and then says, oh, I know you Hindus, you don't eat beef, so I made some vegetarian dishes for you. But Mr. Malgudi says, no, I will eat beef. How? He says, Indian cow is sacred, not the Argentine cow. Life has different perceptions for an Indian and a Latin American. In India, life is like a transit lounge in the airport, between incarnations, arrival and departure. It's a passing stage. But in Latin America, celebra la vida, segundo a segundo, nada se guarda, todo se brinda. Axel Fernando, the Argentine singer, sings.